The Kiwanis Club of St. Catharines, along with the Port Dalhousie Beautification and Works Committee, cut the ribbon to open Old Lock 1 Commons.
The Lock 1 was built in 1845, and it fell into a lot of disrepair over the years. And what has happened is that we had an initiative that was started by the Beautification and Works Committee, Ed Smith as a matter of fact, who partnered with the Kiwanis, and we were lucky enough to get the opportunity to enter into a competition with the National Trust, and we won $40,000. With that, we built on it, got about $80,000, and then along came Mr. Tom Rankin, who gave us $200,000 in time and materials to do this beautiful lock as you see today. Originally, of course, it was a working lock back in the 1840s. It fell into disrepair when various other stages of the canal were built, bigger and wider and faster and stronger or whatever, and it fell into disrepair. And then I think the city about 30 years ago made it into a kind of a sunken garden, but unfortunately it was left to overgrow and whatever else, and we decided that it was well worth preserving. This is one of the only true canal towns in the world that exists, and it needs to be preserved.
Special memorial statues honoring tow horses that work the canal are also in the planning stages.
We're asking for money now to help raise funds to do the bronze horses. We've got an artist that's commissioned and we're ready to go, we just need money. That'll be placed on the other side of the lock over there, behind the fence, and the 4 horses represent the 4 canals. And the 3 of the horses will be mangy and falling apart, because there's thousands of horses that died pulling the old, they didn't have steamboats in those days, they had sailboats. So the horses had to pull them all the way up to Lake Erie or in between. And we're celebrating those horses so they won't be forgotten. I have to thank city staff too, because they were behind us and they directed us in the directions that we had to get into. Tom Rankin and the Rankin Construction, their whole crew are just amazing. And I want to thank ProPac helps us with our duck race, and they're their major sponsor last year and this year. Without them, we wouldn't have things going on. We have Mike Bates from Durafilm that helped us, a major sponsor of money. And of course, if you look down here, you'll see we have things like Ben Gunit from Cooperatives that gave us insurance free for 2 years to help us out. We've got Giant Tiger that supplied all kinds of the hot dogs and buns constantly. They're doing this for Kiwanis because they see what we do.
This is the kickoff for what I hope is going to be a summer season of entertainment. We've got a couple of people interested in coming along and perhaps doing a jazz in the lock evening or whatever. I do know that a couple of the businesses, the local restaurant over the road, he's interested in sponsoring something like that, like an Italian tenor one night or something like that. So early days, we've got to walk before we can run, but we're getting there.
In Niagara, you're watching The Source.